Now, following on from week 13 of Inktober52, which the prompt was joy, I've continued with joyful colours. The theme for April was actually colours. So for week 14, we had green, 15 red, 16 blue, and 17 yellow. So I decided just to concentrate on plants because, as I've mentioned before, I love my plants and I love my flowers, and I find they are very joyful, relaxing. I enjoy drawing them. This is some sort of succulent. I'm not sure of the name of this one. It was from one of my old pictures and I didn't have the name of it, so I just copied that as closely as I could, and I did it from the top view because I love the way the succulent looks like a flower when you look down at it. And then poppy, I've done poppies lots of times. This is a variation of the poppy that I did a few years ago where I had one of the petals coming off, falling off. I decided to do it complete with all the petals on. And the blue rose, I had to think of something for blue, and I really wanted to do bluebells, but they are so tricky to draw, and I just couldn't get them right without making them quite large to get the detail in, because I didn't just want to do an impression of the bluebell, I actually wanted to do the detail. So in the end I searched for blue flowers and it came up with blue roses. Never seen a blue rose, I know they do exist, but I decided to pick one where I could put some other colour in. So this is a couple of shades of blue and some lilac, and I just like the way the petals sort of unfold with the roses, and you can get the different shades and just do it quite painterly. So I used very wet ink for this with my pens. I was working, it's like a watercolour technique where you work wet into wet, so you have to work very quickly and get the ink in. So I'm usually working with 2 or 3 colours of pen in my hand and making sure that I'm swapping to the right one, because you have to get the next ink in before the first coat dries. And these pens, they're pigment ink, they dry really quickly, so I had to work really quickly. But I do like the effect, and if you pick up the wrong pen it can go horribly wrong. I have done that in the past, so it's best when you put the pens back in your hand to make sure you always keep them in the same order, so you know lightest to darkest. So, and it's best to only work with a maximum of 3 colours when you're doing this, because you can pick up the pens a lot quicker. Obviously you can use 2 pens and just work 2 colours into each other, and that works really well for some pictures. And then sunflower. Now I love sunflowers. We used to always grow them along the wall at our other house and in pots. And they are beautiful, absolutely. There's nothing more cheerful than a sunflower, a beautiful smiley yellow sunflower. And I put some oranges in here just to give it some definition, to just make it have some depth there, because when it's all one yellow it can look quite flat on a picture. But sunflowers are absolutely beautiful, and I really enjoyed doing the sunflower. That's definitely one I think I would like to do a bigger version of the sunflower, and you can make wonderful patterns using the flower heads. You could do a picture with all different flower heads in like a random abstract pattern. But I did really enjoy doing these 4, so I've worked on A6 postcard size because I wanted to get them finished quite quickly so that I could actually get up to date with Inktober, which I actually am now. I've started the May pictures, so I'm totally up to date, and it's really nice to find a subject that you enjoy. And I think it's really nice to come back to a subject that you enjoy, but also not just to only draw the things you like to paint, because it's nice to try other things, and sometimes you find something else you're good at that you didn't realise. So some people are very good at doing buildings or portraits. I always love to do flowers and plants, and use them as inspiration for patterns. So that was all the pictures for April, and we're moving on to a new subject now, so it will be interesting to see. Next week's subject is not that easy for me, so I'm going to have to work hard at next week's.